I'm Lady Charmaine, and in 1935, when blacks were still believed to be inferior to whites and were treated as less than, the Wiley College debate team defeated the then reigning national champion, University of Southern California. The victory presented a profound example to the nation and the world that color is no deterrent to ability. And here to talk about the great debate taking place at USC tomorrow, help me welcome Wiley College President Haywood L. Strickland and two Wiley College debaters, Lyle Kleinman and Nathan Lill, along with Mr. Christopher Medina. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, the first question is going to be for you, Dr. Strickland. You revisited this historic debate when you welcomed USC to your campus in 2012 for the first debate in over 70 years. Now, both teams were declared victors for the 2012 match, but can you please tell me, how can both teams be declared the victors in this match? I was so curious.
Well, in reality, it was an exhibition debate, and it was a debate that was designed to bring the two universities back together again as friends in a competitive but friendly atmosphere. And so the debate, centered around getting the young people involved and engaged in response mechanism, so to speak. But it was more to commemorate the 1935 debate rather than one that was designed for there to be a winner. And so the declaration of a tie, so to speak, reflected that reality, the realization that we wanted to reestablish the relationship and then go forward with a more competitive arena in which we would then try to determine a winner or loser.
Okay, so now you are bringing your friendly rivalry full circle with your trip to Los Angeles, with the debate taking place tomorrow night. So now we can figure out, or we're going to find out tomorrow, who is the true victor. So no more friendly debates where everybody's on the same level and we only declare, two people. So tomorrow we're going to know who actually won the debate when it's over, right?
Well, we hope so. We have three judges, so the judges still have the ability to declare a tie if they so choose. But we're going at it as if it's going to be a victory for Wiley.
Awesome. Now, I would like to get to know the students that's going to be participating in this debate, and also learn a little bit more about Wiley College, because we know that Wiley College is well known from the movie The Great Debaters, but it has so much history. And so on the line, I have Nathan Lill and Lyle Kleinman, and you're both from California, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So Nathan, starting with you, where in California are you from?
I was born and raised in Bay Area, California, in a little place called Union City, about 30 minutes away from San Francisco.
Okay, and Lyle, where are you from?
I'm actually from Bakersfield, California, central, but more southern than central. Yeah, kind of the middle of nowhere.
Now, I want to know from both of you, why did you decide to attend Wiley College all the way from California and go to Marshall, Texas, and attend a small school called Wiley College?
It's a pretty big jump, but in my old high school debate team, I had a lot of alumni who were trying to give me some support, and one of them actually mentioned to me Wiley College and then explained to me the history, the background, and the legacy for their speech and debate team. And so with that being said, and trying to consider where I wanted to go and where I wanted to be in the future, I decided to give Christopher Medina a call. And that was the beginning to where I am here today.
Wow.
Yeah, and like Nathan, we both ended up getting in contact with our coach Medina, but mine was a little bit more sporadic. I found myself in my senior year kind of having an idea of where I was going to be going to school, which is at the junior college in Bakersfield. And it was my last debate tournament at Nationals that year. And I ended up coming out of one of my debate rounds, my later rounds, finding an assistant coach who looked lost, and I didn't even know he was an assistant coach at that time. Gave him directions, and he took 2 steps away, turned around, and asked me if I was a senior, which I was, and we had this hour-and-a-half long conversation, at the end of, he was offering me a scholarship to go to the school. And so I found myself realizing that I had walked out of the right door and into the right place at the right time. And after realizing this was the school that I had watched and read about, there was no other decision that I could make at that time other than to be here. So
Now, I'm really curious. Now, in high school, they have so many extracurricular activities. You have from baseball, basketball, tennis, drama. You chose speech and debate. And I'm curious to find out from both of you, why did you decide speech and debate out of all the other activities in school, starting with you, Nathan?
Well, actually, my older brother was a part of the speech and debate team, and I usually looked past it when I was younger because I thought it was just like this nerdy activity that I wanted no a part of because I was like a delinquent as a child. And after growing up and after realizing that times were getting really tough for me and I knew that it was going to lead to nowhere good for me, I was forced into speech and debate by my brother, and it was by far the best thing that's really happened to me. Because at that point in time, that's when my life completely changed and was overhauled. So you could say that I was almost forced into it. But after that initial impression, I stuck with it ever since, and it has become my life's passion. Wow. So much so that I'm here with the Wiley College grade debaters today.
That's such a great story. Now, what about you, Lyle?
Actually, I mean, like Nathan, I knew that it was the nerdy activity right off the bat. However, my freshman year, I found myself as the nerdy kid. I found myself sitting in the auditorium watching our orientation, and all the other, sports activities went up and gave their spiel and all that other stuff. But then the forensics and debate students came out and performed. And that just caught my attention, and I realized that that's where I wanted to be. This is where I'm going to fit in high school, and it's where I fit ever since.
So how has being a part of the debate team impacted your life? Because we see where it's taking you now. You have this great debate tomorrow. But for both of you, how did it impact your life? Starting with you, Nathan.
By far, it's been the greatest avenue for me to try and pursue my dreams and my future ambitions, because I don't see anywhere else I would have been able to make an impact in so many other people's lives through the speeches that I gave, through the debates that I've been in, than forensics or speech and debate. And with that being said, I don't believe I would be nearly as successful or well-off or knowledgeable without the resources that speech and debate has really given me. And by far, it's the best experience of my life.
Wow. Okay, you, Lyle.
Yeah, I can definitely expound upon that. I mean, I've always been someone with a lot of opinions and ideas, and debate, and at the beginning fostered those. But it took it from them just being my opinions and ideas to something that could actually influence, someone's decisions, influence my own intelligence, and be something that I can use. Debate for me has been a source of my education when I didn't want to focus on my education, and has been a source of my education when I needed to. Debate has been more than just an activity of, expressing my opinions and getting it out there and, changing people's political or social agendas. It's also given me, and what I believe it gives every student, the tools necessary to succeed in all of their classes. I mean, for example, at our school, we have this program called QEP, which is Communicate Through Debate, where you can be an accounting major like myself and still have these ideas and these principles that are being taught. And I think it's something that's really essential. I mean, not only has it changed my life and it's impacted me to get me educated and, have these things that I can speak about, but it's something that I think that we can all do on a marginal level.
That you explained it so well. It's like, it makes me wish I would have took speech and debate when I was in high school. Make me feel like I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, that would be the essential message. Yeah, yeah. If I could push to have one of these programs at every high school, I definitely would.
Yeah.
Although I was very argumentative, maybe I probably should have took speech and debate, because I'm gonna tell you, I can argue you down. And I used to always say I could be the rightest wrong person. I could be all wrong and still argue you down to convince you that I was right. Now the two of you partnered this summer to defeat Southern Methodist University in an exhibition debate on their campus. And so your team is off to a great start. And no other competitor, however, have such a great, rich history that you have with USC. So can you tell me what participating in this debate, this is a famous debate, made famous, as we all know from the movie Great Debaters. What does this mean to you to be able to participate in this?
No pressure. It's gotta be. It's definitely something that I have a great deal of respect for, just because of knowing about the history of the Great Debaters and Wiley College and what it is that we are standing for here today. it's a monumentous task to undertake, because I understand that we are standing on the shoulders of giants. You know, the people who laid down the foundation for where it is that we are today as a community. And so going to USC and being able to represent Wiley College is something that's going to be a pivotal moment in trying to understand where it is that we come from and how far we really have gone. At the end of the day, I believe it's less about who wins and who loses and more about paying homage to what really happened those many years ago. And so that's what it really means to me. It's to uphold the legacy, to show them respect. And that's why I'm going to give it my all tomorrow at this debate.
Well, you made me a believer. I believe you are. Go ahead.
On that as well. It went from the beginning of making it on the exhibition team, knowing that this was going to be a possibility, to this was going to be very symbolic, and that I needed to get a very deep understanding of it. And as time has passed, it's become more and more personal for myself. Being on this debate team and knowing what it stands for and the trials that they've gone through back in 1935 just to get here. As a matter of fact, we were reading an article by Hobart Jarrett, and he writes about they were shot at, when they were driving through Mississippi. There was a mob in Arkansas that had to drive through. They drove through the fog and missed driving off a 2,000-foot cliff face by just 6 inches. I mean, we really stand on the shoulders of people that were willing to risk their lives and everything that they stood for to make sure that they could have this opportunity. Because, in 1935 and in the world and society that we lived in, they did not have a voice. They did not have the opportunity to have one. And the fact that they were going to be making history and going down, and making sure that this was going to be the way that we have paid for us today is what becomes extremely personal for me and extremely important to me as well. So obtaining the legacy and paying homage to them is extremely important, and that is one of the most important things of which I'm going to expound upon tomorrow. But I think that when it comes down to the debate, when it comes down to what it is we're talking about and who we're paying homage to, that resonates more personally with me now than it has before. To know that I get to represent the type of people that are willing to put everything on the line, to where I could not only have an education, a voice, but the opportunity to have my opinions heard and not be judged based upon my creed or color, right? And so I think that message is the one that we're trying to send the most, and one that we are extremely respective of, because it's that important. It is that big to me, and to all of us, I would argue.
Well, since it is very important to the both of you, how are you preparing for this debate for tomorrow, and what is the topic?
Okay, the topic is the role of race should be expanded in colleges or universities, and so basically how we're preparing for this is by having our own take on it, because the topic is vague enough to where you have an idea of where it's going to go, but specific enough to where you're going to believe it's about affirmative action and to take that stage of debate. And that's about as much as I can tell you without giving away our strategy too much.
We don't want to do that.
I think it's actually a relatively appropriate topic for the circumstances that we're given, because back in 1935, when the original debate took place, and it was a time of very heated oppression and social injustice, and there was this huge calamity between the cultures that were exhibited at the time, that for us to be able to go not only pay homage, but also debate about a topic that in itself deals with race and is a conflicting argument here today, is something that's actually really important for us to address in such an appropriate time. And that's exactly why it is that we are taking these hours of preparation, I would say, with our coaches, with our fellow students, with other people out in the community, just to see how it is that they respond to this topic. Because it's not only important just for us here at the Great Debaters or at USC. It's important for the people. It's important for the people that we're being exposed to, and for the people to understand what the underlying message is. Because the real reason why it is that we do speech and debate is to give a voice to the voiceless, so we can have people understand the issues of today's society and try and have a different perspective on it. And that's exactly why I say that I never really think it's an issue about who wins and who loses, because at the end of the day, we all walk out of that room with something in our head that we didn't walk in with, right? It's all about the persuasion and how it is that we see this topic in a new light. And that's exactly why I love this activity so much, because we have the ability to change so many people's perspective, their ideas, and be able to walk out and, who knows, even inspire them to possibly do something with it in the future. And that's why this is so important for us.
Well, Mr. Christopher Medina, I know that you should be very proud of these young men because you're the director of forensics at Wiley College, and you too credit debate with steering you in the right direction. And you're from California as well, right?
I am. I was actually born at USC Medical Center, and so I think it's kind of ironic that I'm coming home and my students are debating USC. I grew up in a suburb of Los Angeles, and so this is a homecoming for me. But I'm so proud of these students because of they're taking up the mantle and what was so important for me. What was important for me was I didn't realize that I was intelligent in high school. I didn't know that I could even graduate high school, much less college. And debate helped to give me an understanding that I could make it through both high school and college and eventually on to higher education and graduate education. So debate has given me everything in my life. And so I work tirelessly to make sure that I can pass that on to others so that they can have their own voice and so that they can advocate for themselves.
That is wonderful what you just said, because a lot of times people don't really realize that how speech and debate is very important. And like you said, advocate for themselves because it help you be able to speak very well, as both of the gentlemen that we just spoke to, Lyle and Nathan, just doing so eloquently on the show. And I sure wish I could attend because it seemed like it is going to be so powerful on tomorrow night.
We wish you could be here as well. We think it's going to be a fantastic event. It's a reunion, and so we're happy to be a part of it. And we would like for everyone to come.
How did your renewed relationship with USC even come about? This is to Christopher.
When I was first hired at Wiley College as the director of forensics, I had researched the history of Wiley College and realized that the movie had depicted Harvard rather than USC. And upon learning that, I decided to get in touch with the director of forensics at USC, Dr. Gordon Stables, and discuss with him the potential of putting together an exhibition debate between the two schools as an homage to the 1935 debate.
Well, that was very nice. And now look where you are now. So it's going to be historic even on tomorrow. And for you, President Strickland, or Dr. Strickland, how proud are you of these students? Because they're doing such a great job and they're truly going to be representing Wiley College on tomorrow.
I'm extremely proud of them. I'm extremely proud of our director, Ms. Medina. Our kids have demonstrated excellence, I think, in all that they do. They do great research. They do great analysis. They do great presentations. And so they've learned that the expression, that the spoken word is a powerful instrument in growth. And the skills which they are getting through the various methodologies that Ms. Medina has brought to them strengthens them and strengthens their capacity to be great students, but also to be great representatives in this society. This is a very critical time in our lives. And so, just to hear them speak, just to see them around campus and observe them as leading citizens of our college now, but of the nation certainly in the years to come, makes us all proud at Wiley. And we know that they'll have great futures. We also know that Wiley will continue to exist because of young people like the ones that we have now who are representing us.
Because I had the opportunity to walk the grounds of Wiley College last year when I spoke there last year. And it was amazing just to see the rich history at the school and to know, as we talked about, because I had the movie, I owned the movie, The Great Debaters, and it was amazing. I still didn't know as much about the school until I went to the campus and I had a little tour at the school. And I just want to commend you all for just keeping up the great history where debate didn't die, and it was brought back, and so we can all enjoy it and hear about the great victories that Wiley College will have tomorrow and in the future of Wiley College. And if listeners wanted to just attend, because we have listeners that listen in 97 countries and also in Southern California, if they wanted to attend tomorrow, do you have the information where they can go and get a ticket, or if there's a website?
It's a very hot ticket, so I'm hoping that there's enough for everybody. The debate is going to be on the USC campus, and I believe that we have information posted on our website.
Okay, so they can just go to Wiley College, a website, and get all the information?
Wiley.edu.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, Wiley College.
Again, Dr. Strickland?
We're also going to be streaming the debate live tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
On the website?
They can get the link from the website at www.wileyc.edu.
wileyc.edu. Simple enough. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and we wish you all the best on tomorrow night. Thank you, Dr. Strickland, Mr. Medina, Lyle, and Nathan. We wish you the best of luck on tomorrow night.
Thank
you so much.
very much.
Appreciate it so much. Make it up.